wouldn't do certain things. And so, for example, I remember one time when guys were already asking me to have sex with them and stuff, and I used to think, no way, I couldn't do such a thing, because being a virgin is so important for my mom, and I couldn't do such a thing to her, and this is not a good idea. And so somebody in the neighborhood told my mom that I was probably already having sex, and she turned to me really upset and she said, you know what, if you are having sex, I don't give a damn, I don't care. I just don't want you to do it in my bed or in my house. And for me, that message was very hurtful, because I thought that my body was important, that the being a virgin was important, and it wasn't for her. So I thought, okay, so alright, so I'm not important in that way. And when I was about 14 to 15 years old, I was outside on the streets with my friend. It was about midnight. My mom really didn't care at what time we were on the streets or with who or where. And one of my aunts saw me and she told me, you know what, in the street over there in the corner, just a block away from here, there's someone there that you want to meet. And I said, really? Like who? And she's like, your dad. And I thought, like, what? My dad? I was very excited. And I just ran with her to meet him. And he was there. He was already a little bit drunk. And he was very feminine. I thought, like, oh my gosh, my mom is right. He is gay. But he was sweet. He hugged me like my mom have never hugged me before. And then he tried to explain to me, saying that, you know what, I know all about you. I'm always investigating. I've been outside your house. I just don't ever want to be with you because your mom has such a tough personality. And he said that when she got pregnant, he didn't believe her that I was his baby. So she got really mad and they broke up the relationship. And after she gave birth, he really wanted to be part of us, of our family. And she said no, because she was already in love with the guy who is the father of the twins. So he just stayed aside, and she was so mad, and she told him don't ever come around and stuff like that. So he said that that's the reason why he stayed out of my life. We exchanged phone numbers, and this bar that he was at was near my house. So I was so excited, because then now I can just walk over there, and maybe every Friday I can see him. And some of the times that I went by, he was using drugs, and I felt like, oh, this is no good. I can't really keep on coming here, even though I really want to. And I think he found out that one of the times I saw him, so he told me, you know what, maybe let's just keep the relationship by the phone, because this is not really a good place for you to be around. And then after that, I don't know what happened, but one time he called very early and my mom answered the phone, and I don't know what she told him, but he never ever called me back again until this day. So I just know a little bit about him, what's going on here and there, because I met one of his sisters. And but after that, I think I understand that one reason he stays out of my life is because if he's living with a man or using drugs or in whatever things he's doing, it's really no good for me to be hanging out with him. So after I met him, I thought that it would be very nice if I meet my brother. So since I knew his name and I knew kind of like the area where he lived, I decided to just go without permission. And I told my best friend to go with me. And so we just went door by door asking if you know anybody named so and so. And there were 3 guys with the same name. So we had to kind of figure out which one didn't have a mom. So we found him. And I don't even know what we told him. But we became friends. I didn't tell him who I was. and he was just the nicest guy. So he was so cool, so nice, and I was so excited. And he actually fell in love with my best friend, and he was kind of cool. So time went by, and I said, you know what, maybe it would be a good idea for my sister, my older sister, to know about him. So I told her. She told my mom that by just luck I met him, and so I brought him home. It was quite awkward because when he came home and I looked at the three of them, they really looked like each other so much, and he also noticed it, and he knew that this is his family because he told me that he knew that he had family who live around my area, but he wasn't expecting that it was me. So time went by. He found out that he was my brother because my friend told him. And one thing that my mom told me right after she saw him, she said, I don't want you to bring her over the house anymore because I don't want my boyfriend to find out about him. And that really broke my heart so much. I was so disappointed. I thought that maybe he was gonna come and live with us. I got so excited. I thought, cool, I'm gonna have a brother, and this is so nice. And when she said that, she just threw me like how, like she's got no conscience. She doesn't really feel bad about it. I thought that all of us, my sisters and I thought that all of us were going to embrace him. And my older sister really liked him because she remembered him since they were little. But she was in a time when she was partying, and my mom, since she saw that my mom didn't really want to be part of his life, she just backed up and said, okay, let's just forget about it. And the twins were too young to really care, so I was the only one left thinking about him. So you continue our relationship. At that time, he got into drugs, heavy use of drugs, so there was a period of time when I just didn't see him that much. So problems continued in the house with my mom. She was always screaming at us, telling us how useless we were. That was something that she said every single day. You're very useless, you're good for nothing, you're never gonna find a job. And she did that so that we wouldn't really find a job ever and leave the house, because she needed us to be babysitting the little kids. Then she got pregnant again with this new boyfriend, and I knew immediately that because my sister began to work, I was going to be in charge of now this little baby and the twins. So I was in charge of the house and the twins and the whole deal, maybe when I was 16, around that time, until I was 20. So it was exhausting. I never had time to go and play out, not that much. And because she worked in bars her entire life, my mom, she usually had the worst words you can think of to tell us all the time. She was just not thinking that we were kids. And so, well, since my self-esteem was so low, and I knew I didn't really matter for anybody, I remember one time when we went out, and my friend and I, we went out with some older guys, and they had a car, and one of them got really upset because my friend didn't want to have sex with him. So they dropped us off at my mom's house, and when she comes out of the car, she throws the door really hard, and the guy came out and just grabbed her by the hair and just lift her up from the ground. And I was in shock, and I just threw myself at him and start trying to hit him. And then he just punched me really hard, and I just fell back. And they took off, and we entered the house. We were crying, all nervous. And my mom comes down, and my sister too. And my sister is like, oh, we have to sue these guys. Who do they think they are? I'm gonna go get him. And my mom says, you know what? Next time somebody wants to beat you up, I don't care. Just please do it a block away from the house, because I don't really want to hear anything. I'm sleeping. So situations and things like that really, really, really showed me that she really didn't love me. And for me, she was important to me. So another time I was studying, having